no sleep. Team no sleep.
All right, we'll begin with some opening remarks from Coach Pierce, and then we'll hear from Jim Kelly, and we'll open it up for questions.
Yep. Thank you. First and foremost, thank you to Mr. Davis, Josh McDaniels, Dave, Patrick Graham for bringing me here and giving me this opportunity. It's never easy when you lose a teammate, a coworker, somebody that you're close with. We take that very seriously. There's lives and families that's affected by this, and we understand that. But it's a new day. It's a new chapter. It's a new era. It's a new mindset. What is that mindset? It's that of the Raider pride, the commitment to excellence, and making sure our alumni, our fan base, and Raider Nation.
You do that to immediately get that message across to the players that that's what they put out on the field on Sunday.
Yeah, one is empowering your coaches and your players in the building to have the dialogue and openness and accountability and the trust and the respect for one another where we can start to make change. That's first and foremost. It starts when we walk in this building. Enjoying and loving the fact that you're a Raider. Embracing the fact that you're a Raider. Loving the fact that you're next to your brother. When you start doing those things and you start playing together, that energy and what I talked about with those guys, the synergy in the building, now we have a connection, and now we can start growing for that. But at the end of the day, you understand, just like I do, it's a production-based business. We have to produce. We have to play hard for 61 minutes, which we'll do, and we have to play with the effort that everybody's used to the Raider Nation playing with.
On the human level, how do you go about compartmentalizing, thoughts that you may have about, obviously this team is going to be in a situation after this season where they're looking for a new head coach, a new GM, with focusing on the present, but also maybe thinking forward to those types of things to maybe be considered for those openings?
The reality for me is, Tayshaun, is I'm focusing on one day at a time. Like, we said we're team no sleep. Right? We talked late last night, woke up early this morning, got together, excited to bring this vision together. But we're not looking forward to tomorrow, let tomorrow worry about itself. We're focusing on the now. Our team is focusing on the now. Those players are focusing on right now, and that's all we have.
Antonio, when you got into coaching, was this a goal of yours to eventually become a head coach, and what does this opportunity mean to you on a personal level? Yeah,
I've been fortunate. I've played at a high level, went all the way back to my roots and coached at Long Beach Poly. High school was a head coach there. Was at the New York Giants in 2017, and then, college for 4 years, and had opportunities to leave and go to other organizations. I decided not to. The short story, the matter of fact is I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in L.A. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats. So when the opportunity came to work with Josh and Pat Graham and Dave, I jumped on it. So that's what set me up for this. I was born this way.
How surreal is it going to be to coach your first NFL game against the team that you won a Super Bowl with as a player?
How about that? Couldn't write it up. But it's not Antonio Pierce versus the New York Giants. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Giants coming into our house. Much needed win for us. We've had 2 ugly losses. It's time to change that. We're in the second half of the season. Doesn't matter what or who Antonio Pierce played for. It's about the Las Vegas Raiders. Those players understand that. It's about them. It ain't about me.
Jim, these things happen every year throughout the league, not often on a short week in the middle of a season. When you understood this was happening or got the call, were you surprised?
Was definitely surprised. I don't think, we saw it coming. But I plan every day of my life to be prepared for any situation. Putting my trust in the Lord and allowing Him to guide me, right? So whenever these situations arise, fully confident that, He will equip me and we're ready to roll.
Antonio, you obviously bring a certain level of intensity to the table, and I'm wondering, you're very demonstrative, very expressive, and I'm wondering if that's the kind of fit the team really will respond to and needs at this point.
We had a good team meeting this morning, had a full house, and I think I had everybody's attention. I had their eyes. I'm not a long-winded person. I'm not going to give you a dialogue or write an essay. I get right to the point. It's black and white. You know how I feel when I walk out the door. I've been around these guys for 2 years now as a linebacker coach, and I made my presence known both in the linebacker room, the defensive line room, the quarterback room, the running back room. I'm a former player. I touch former players. I can relate to them. I've done the same things they've done. I've walked the same paths they walked. I felt the same pain they felt. So there's nothing or any emotional ride or roller coaster that they haven't gone through this year or over the 2 years I've been with them that I haven't felt. And my personality, one last thing, my personality will come out and reflect on this team, and hopefully we see that on Sunday.
Antonio, talking to players, they sometimes look around and say, there's just too much talent on this team for it to be this difficult and to be struggling the way they've been struggling. Do you share that sentiment that the answers are in that locker room and that can get unlocked?
One question, no question about it. I mean, we can talk about players. We can go down our roster and you say, wow, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. You look at our old line. You look at our quarterback. You look at the way our tight ends playing. Defensively, how we playing. We've been really well on special teams throughout the season. It's funny what a little belief and confidence gives the group. And this is just what we're going to believe and what we're about is about them being themselves. I told them when they walk in this door, I need to feel them. They're going to feel me 100%, but I got to feel them. I need that personality. This building needs personality. When we walk in here, everybody in here should be smiling. We all got a job. We're doing something. We're covering the greatest game in the world, the National Football League. And if you're not excited about that, there's something wrong with you.
Was there a lack of excitement before? I mean, being that that's something that needed to be addressed, what was the atmosphere like before?
I don't think that it was not addressed. It just, you got to embrace it. And it's being embraced now.
Coach, congratulations, first of all. Congratulations to both of you, and happy birthday to your daughter.
Appreciate it.
A quick question. When you talk about personalities and this being so human, what was the reaction of the players when you gave them the news? Obviously, you're all smiling. As you say, you want us all to smile. It's been a few weeks. You're all kind of difficult to smile.
Yes.
And so what was their reaction like, and what do you think is the priority moving forward towards the New York Giants, other than winning the game, obviously?
Right. I mean, why what are you mad about? You know what I mean? Like I just said it. Like we're playing a kids game. We're getting paid millions of dollars to do it. We're fortunate to play for an alumni base, a owner, a fan base that like live and die Raiders.
Yeah.
And when we walk in that stadium, it's got to be electric. And what I told these guys is, it's simple, man. Listen, who knows? I'm not promising we're gonna go undefeated. I'm not promising, we're going to, redo the record books. But I am promising you this. We're going to have fun doing it. And I know when you start having fun and you guys start believing in one another and they start really engaging in each other and believing in what the coaches are telling them and understand it's in their best interest, if we are in this together, when you put the we aspect in us and team into it, it changes all that from the eyes.
What are your thoughts on the quarterback position going forward?
It'll be Aiden going forward.
Why Aiden?
We just feel like this is his best chance.
What was the reaction like in the locker room when you made that announcement?
Very supportive.
Yeah, the guys are rallying behind him. They're excited to watch him, get his opportunity. Like I was there as AP was speaking to the team, and he had their eyes. There was an energy that was tangible in the room. There was a true excitement, and guys are geared up to prepare.
But we'll be fine. Look, the Raider Nation does a great job. They come wherever we go. They travel well. We got a big test this week with the Giants coming to town. A great opportunity for us to get a fresh start and get back on a winning track.
We'll get everybody in here. Let's go Adam, Heidi, Chris, Paul, Q. Coach, you talked about what you wanted to see from your offense. How much of a challenge is it from now with the influence Josh had on the offense from now until Sunday to kind of get a plan together and what you guys want to do and accomplish?
Yeah, I started this press conference by saying it. New day, new month, new chapter, new mindset. So whatever we did in the past, doesn't matter. I wish I could say we're 0-0. We're not. But we're approaching it that way. We're approaching the way Bo went in there today, the offense. I spoke with those gentlemen. They know exactly the task and the plan going forward and what kind of offense we want to portray. And, are you going to sit there and rip up the whole playbook? No. But you better go to your key guys. I'm not a fool. I'm a player. Remember, I was a player before I was a coach. Player ran business.
I've had the privilege of working with Bo in 3 different buildings now. He's not afraid of the moment. So we're confident in him. He's going to be authentically himself in this situation. So you'll see Bo.
Coach, like you mentioned, as a player, right, you had various experiences with several coaches throughout the years and working at Arizona State as well. Is there any particular person who had an influence on you and how you approach your coaching style?
too many to name. You know, I was fortunate to play with two other organizations, Marty Schottenheimer, Marvin Lewis, Joe Gibbs, Greg Williams, Steve Spagnuolo, and Tom Coughlin, and then finish it off with Herm Edwards. So what you're going to see from AP is a kind of a chameleon of all those guys put together, you know, along with my personality. But I've learned so much through my time of either as a player, as a coach going through the ranks. I mean, probably the biggest thing that I got over the last, 16 or so hours is, text messages from them gentlemen. And I'm so appreciative of them because there's no AP without them. The knowledge, the support, the love they gave me when I was a young rookie, or an opportunity to get into the coaching world, I'm forever grateful.
This is a question for both of you guys. You mentioned the team meeting that you had last week, and it's a player-driven business. How much do you think it helped to hear from the players what was going on in their minds in that meeting?
It was good. It was direct. It was blunt. It was needed. And everybody heard them. Everybody in the building heard them. The good thing about when you allow that to happen, you got to sit there and you got to brace yourself. Sometimes you don't want to hear it. There's probably going to be a moment I ain't going to want to hear that kind of stuff. But you got to have thick skin, and you can't take it too personal. It's an emotional business. These men in that locker room go through hell and back to get dressed and play every Sunday. We're on a short week this week. Guys are nicked up, banged, and bruised. They get up there, they put their cape on, they become a superhero again. So what they said was loud and clear. My message to them echoed their statements from that day, and we'll continue to grow from that.
I think what's good about that, Q, is, I think what we have to do here in these next weeks is just to create a culture where it's safe to have those conversations. Like, we want the truth. We're going to give them the truth. It's going to be real, and it's going to be raw, and it's going to be uncut, right? And so that's the type of environment that we want. I think that's where you thrive at. Like, we build a community that has to be conflict, but there also has to be commitment, right, and extreme communication. And so if we have those three things, we can have success.
Wrap it up with Chris and Paul.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering, you seem like an enthusiastic, excited guy, at the interim head coach now. Was there a point when even yourself, when you were with the players, you're seeing them day in, day out, where you said, oh, this thing's starting to spiral out of control, it's not working, something's got to be done, and it was done, but could you almost kind of sense that something was happening, need to be made?
Well, you just knew the last 2 weeks we weren't ourselves. Obviously, I was a bit on focus on the defensive side of the ball, coaching the linebackers, so my focus was there. But you could just sense as a team, you could feel the aura in the building. You could feel the aura in the locker room and when you're around the guys. So did I have a good sense of it? Yes. Was it my place to talk about it and discuss with anybody? No.
Champ, you were in Denver 2009, 2010, so you had to kind of be part of that cleanup effort there after what had happened. How do you lean on that? Similar situation here to get things rolling here.
Yeah, I've been through a few of them, unfortunately, so that wasn't the only one. Just focus on communication, like sympathetic, because here's the reality, like, most people see us on Sundays. They see, guys in helmets, pads. They see coaches on the sideline that they think don't have lives outside of here, right? The reality of it is, their families involved, their wives who are planning. Like, my kids have to go to school today and, learn about a situation where, we don't know what's next, right? Like the Josh McDaniels family, David Ziegler's family, like, what's next? Like, so there's a reality of that goes on anytime you have transition and change. And so sympathy to everyone's, space and their situation, but extreme communication so people can relieve some of the uncertainty that they have. And then after that, you just attack the moment with confidence. And so that's the stage that we are in right now.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going?
They might stop right there.
you're good. Oh, I saw your backpack on.